The city of Florence has returned to its humanist roots during the pandemic, with food vouchers, rent subsidies, mental health helplines and innovative citywide COVID-19 rapid testing in primary schools. You have spoken about not wasting the opportunity that these tragic circumstances provide. What has your administration learned from this emergency?
First of all, I would like to remember a Pope Francis quote. Worse than this crisis, it could only be wasting this opportunity. We have also learned how important organization is in the public health system locally, and how important harmony and collaboration is in multi-level governance, and also how important green policies to fight climate change are, because the virus spread is the consequence of a disproportionate urbanization versus a more sustainable way of living and organizing communities. In a way, we can consider this pandemic a rebellion of nature against human beings' incorrect expansion. That's why we decided to strengthen our green policies and projects. For example, we have increased and improved tramways and public transport. Alternative mobility has also been our main focus by improving bike sharing, 2,500 more units, and increased cycling paths. With the Piano Bartali, we also are developing 33 kilometers of new cycling lanes, and the goal is to reach 128 kilometers all over the city area. And finally, we have learned about the importance of human relations, because typically only when we get deprived of something, we understand its importance.
You're the Mayor of Florence, but you recently also became the President of Eurocities, which is the largest organisation of more than 190 European cities, commenting, "There's no future for Europe without the cities." Could you explain your comment? Tell us about this European role and how it informs your leadership of Florence.
I am proud to be new President of Eurocities. And I would like to remark that Eurocities is the largest European city network with more than 200 cities, also from non-European Union countries. And as a president, I used to remember there is no future without cities, because most of European Union decisions are designed for municipalities to implement them, so we need to have a stronger role in decision making to build the Europe of our future. Why? Because cities and mayors are the closest point of reference to people and communities. And also we have to solve people's daily problems, yet keep a strategic vision on what we want our community to be like. We mayors must necessarily keep a concrete approach, because every day life demands swift and efficient solutions. We constantly face the duality of long-term strategy and short-term solutions. And it's like a swing in which lays the very quality of life of our people. We see that every day in every decision we have to make to serve our community. And finally, it's the great privilege of our job as mayors and a huge responsibility all the same. I would like to remember my predecessor, Mayor Lapira, the Saint Mayor, named by Florentine people, of post-war Florence. He used to say, "Kingdom pass, but cities stay." And the presidency of Eurocities indeed is a role that amplifies the international vocation that Florence has always had. It also strengthens the awareness of how Florence is perceived abroad as a capital city, not only as a custodian of its amazing heritage in arts and culture, but more and more for innovation and liveliness.
Many of the readers of the Florentine are Florence lovers around the world, many in the United States who were unable to visit this year. They write to our magazine asking two key questions. When can we come back? a question none of us can answer at the moment, and how can we help? So my question for you is, how can Florence lovers help from a distance?
We can't, of course, answer the first. We have to wait for the vaccine distribution to be consistent and extended, and of course we have to wait for the virus spread to decrease down to safe parameters. About the second question, we have already launched the Florence Rebirth Fund campaign, which we had to temporarily suspend because of the second wave, obviously. The fund, however, is still open to everyone's contribution, and you can find all the details on our webpage www.comune.fi.it/Florence Rebirth Fund. It's open to all Florence lovers who can help, if so inclined, by donating via credit card or bank transfer. And all donors will be listed in a public record in the city archives, but also on installations in our square, specially designed by contemporary artists. And I would like to remember that the fund is destined to support Florence arts and cultural life and heritage, because it goes without saying that with all museums and theaters shut down, art cities and sectors have been the most gravely hit by the crisis.
The study abroad industry is one of the many that have been deeply impacted by COVID-19. The US Consulate in Florence is working with American university programs to encourage the return of US students to Tuscany in the spring or summer. What is the Comune doing to facilitate the recovery of this sector?
Since the very beginning, when the situation was still very unclear, we have set a round table with ACUP, the American Association of College and University Programs in Italy, but also with other foreign schools and universities based in Florence. We are working to simplify bureaucracy so to be ready when times will allow travel again. We started an open dialogue with our central government, in particular with the Ministries of Home Affairs, Foreign Affairs and University, to at least solve issues of visa, permits, and to change the procedures in order to simplify students' entry into the country, when times will allow it, of course.
Let's look tentatively to 2021. Florence recently received the EU Access City Award for the accessibility of its built environment, and the Italian government has acknowledged the concrete actions taken by Florence to become greener and smarter. Plans were just announced to begin work on the new Italian Language Museum in the Santa Maria Novella complex, and it's the 700th anniversary of the death of Dante Alighieri. COVID-19 aside, what else is planned next year in Florence?
COVID-19 has been a big boost, I think, for digital transformation, but not only for us, for everyone in the world, I think. We learned how decisive digital transition is to face huge challenges like pandemics. As a matter of fact, since March, we have invested huge amount of budget on digital transformation. For example, the new apps, Wi-Fi implementation, etc. And thanks to these efforts, we won several awards for Green and Digital City. The last is 2 days ago. Florence has just been ranked, in fact, by Forum PA ICT Rank 2020, a fourth city in Italy for digitalization, followed by Bologna and Milano. I'm proud to be mayor of the first smart city in Italy. And next year's goal is to strengthen people's ability to use these new tools we have provided. We have also launched the first platform in Italy for digital knowledge sharing, because people can use in an efficacious way these new tools. And next year, we will need a strong economic plan, in particular to relaunch the city, especially tourism. A different and more sustainable tourism is our strategic goal. And finally, I would like to remember an important ambitious goal that we are sharing with the Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte. I mean the Festival of Humanism that we want to organize here in Palazzo Vecchio in next spring after the COVID emergency, to remember that our city has been the capital of Renaissance, and we want to play again a fundamental role in this time to launch a new humanism together for Europe and for the entire world, of course.
It's December the 18th. We have all been enjoying the Christmas lights, masked in person or on our screens. Would you like to say a Christmas message to the Florentine viewers?
Mine wants to be a message of confidence and trust. I remember Muhammad Ali. He used to say, do not be afraid of falling down, to be afraid of not getting up again. In the past few months, we have fallen down and gotten up again many times. This is the question. This is the challenge. And our strength is in getting up, always. Florence embodies this message of optimism and confidence in very DNA and in its history. Do you remember, Renaissance was born after the great plague of 1348, and after that, people like Brunelleschi, Ghiberti, Donatello, Michelangelo and Leonardo came. So let's be confident this will be our new Renaissance in many ways. And Merry Christmas and my best wishes for a 2021 in good health and prosperity. Thank you.